Freaky pod with freaky freaks. Freaky guess who are freaks in the sheets. Freaky Mimi making freaky squeaks. Freaky Martin making freaky beats. Match my freak. Match my freak.
Welcome to another edition of Match My Freak with Mimi and Martin. We're two comedians who are asking all the questions of life that get real nasty and freaky out there. We're live, baby, and the super chats are open. So if you have any burning questions for us, our guests, if you have any comments, if you have any concerns, whatever, if you need some advice on that stripper life, all right? If you're trying to hop up on that pole and do the splits with a real one, this is your time to call in, to comment, to ask, and we'll stop the show for $5 or more, and we will answer those questions, comments, concerns, and life advice. We have a very special episode today, as we always do. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a doozy, but I can't do it alone. All right, it's just not possible for me to do it alone. So I have to introduce my illustrious co-host right now, Mimilandru, y'all.
Yeah, you got to bring a real one in, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever worked the pole before?
I have not.
Well, we all know I have. And today, we have a really special guest. She has created what I guess I would best describe as a Yelp for strippers, by strippers, called the Dancers Resource. It's on Instagram. It's a super popular account. They've got, over 100,000 followers. And so we wanted to bring in the creator herself, CRISSA Parker.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Of course.
So what's going on? What's new?
Not much. Just finally in fall. I'm ready for the season to change,
Yeah.
Did you guys do anything for the summer?
We traveled a little bit.
Yeah, we traveled a little bit. We went to Alabama, had a show. Have you been to Alabama before?
Never.
Really?
That's where you're from, right?
Yeah, I'm from Alabama.
We're both from Alabama.
So are there...
Oh, interesting.
So you got to tell us, did I do the description justice for the Dancers Resource? Because I want you to go more in depth with it. What is it?
I appreciate the intro, of course. So when I initially started the Dancers Resource, I was dancing. I started dancing when I was 19. And I think when it comes to the industry itself, I'm a little bit more, not protective, but I do find myself a little bit more, which is so interesting on the prudent side when it comes to introductions or anything. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You feel a little bit more protected with the way that it's perpetuated
Mm-hmm.
and but yeah, I started dancing when I was 19. It was survival. I'm sure a lot of women get into dancing. And after being around for in the industry for 3 or 4 years, I think you just start to recognize that things that fly in that industry wouldn't fly in other industries. You're, whether it's a manager taking advantage of you in multiple facets, or it's you're getting discriminated against in ways that wouldn't fly in other industries. So I created a universal platform that allowed the dancers to use their voice, which is creating that social accountability and that social liability within the clubs, which there wasn't prior. And it also allows the dancers to know their options, know what they're getting into before, know what to expect to pay out. So that's kind of where it started. We've been on the App Store for about 8 years. And it was completely bootstrapped. We're not a typical startup where you have all these millions invested. So it was just, excuse me, all that weed I've been smoking. But we just we developed out of a need, pretty much,
Nice.
What state has the worst reviews?
I think so you have women that dance topless, you have women that dance nude. I think it depends on your forte. As many different men that have different tastes and varieties, that's as many different women exists. So everybody has different boundaries. I think it depends on who you're talking to. I would think the residents of the state are generally what make it a little bit more difficult to work with. Mm-hmm. So depending on where you stand, in that realm.
Well, Martin and I are both from Alabama. What is the common denominator there with reviews?
To be honest, so we're in 10 countries now. Yeah.
Wow.
We're in 10 countries. So
Congrats.
Thank you. I generally, I'm not getting full view. To be honest, I think the role that I've carried on now, obviously being in the industry is like important and fascinated. I get the fascination behind it, but we're at a point now where we're developing our technology more in the facet of like other industries. The technology that we've created is applicable to any freelance industry. So we're going to be scaling to commercial trucking, textiles, beauty industry. So essentially, like, you have somebody renting a chair in a salon, right? That person is limited, their entire clientele is limited to that one area, that city where that chair is. Well, because they're paying by month, just like the way the dancers pay to work. So what we do is we allow the hairdresser to rent chairs by the day, which also simultaneously allows the salons, truckers, whoever's using our technology to like have their, you know, they're able to find work and workers. You know, it's that universal platform that ensures job opportunity. So in terms of like which app gets like the different reviews, it depends on like whatever you're looking for, you know? I'm sorry, which area gets different reviews. Yeah. I hear a lot about New Jersey. That is like, but I think it depends on the girls. Like New York and New Jersey women, like they're going to put it out there, you know? I haven't really heard a lot from Alabama. Like, did you dance in Alabama?
No.
Where did you dance?
Here.
Oh, okay. In LA? Where, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, no comment for the pod, but
Oh, boy.
Okay. Okay.
Mimi tends to be mysterious on air.
I did
Like,
a brief stint dancing. I did. Yeah. And
Okay.
it was a great, honestly, it was probably one of the most empowering jobs I've ever had. I never had any issues. It was really short-lived.
Yeah, how long? Because you've mentioned it before, but how
For like
long?
6 months.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
yeah.
right before COVID, I was in a money spot. I hadn't started bartending. I was actually working for a religious organization during the day.
That was a strip club?
And dancing at
Oh,
night.
okay, it was two different things.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. And you know, I was really good at pole. You know, it was a
So
really
you can do the
positive.
splits.
Yes, I can do the splits. It was a really positive experience for me, and you know,
Nice.
I think that. And so it made me kind of get like a deeper, you know, or obviously because I was, you know, in the industry, a deeper respect, you know, for performers and other people and other facets of it.
Yeah.
Would you ever do it again?
You know, I think my time is up with that.
Why?
I do. Well, we all know how old I am, Martin.
Well, it's so
What a
draining.
man.
It's, I mean, on a sustainability factor, like, forget the, you know, the like appeal in terms of aesthetics. It's so draining. You're selling your energy. People like to
Absolutely.
like dumb it down and make it seem like it's like, oh, haha, like you want to dance. The reality is, like, you could be the most beautiful woman in the room, and if your energy sucks and you don't know how to speak to people, or if you're condescending in any ass, whatever it may be, bitchy, whatever it may be, it ruins your money. And that's something you really have to be able to harness. And like that in itself is draining, you know? That's why like you see dancers work for 3 days in a row and then they're off for 2 days because it's like they're exhausted.
Yeah, it is exhausting when you're. I mean, I was definitely also in like the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
Like
As a
literally the best
result
shape.
of, or for it.
No, because
As a result of, definitely, because you have
Yeah.
to think about like the physical aspects that you're like putting yourself through dancing on stage. Like I said, it's so easy to dumb it down and be like, oh, you show your tits, but the reality
not.
is like you're on stage, you're moving more than you're standing, you're selling your energy, and I think dancing or just being in that industry in general is like kind of draining because it's isolating in the sense where like you don't feel like you can tell people. You feel like people are gonna think you're an idiot. You think that, you know, you get prejudged.
Right.
So it definitely is. It's a mind shift. I did a podcast a few weeks ago, and I just like was getting the quotes today, and I guess I said that dancing like helped remove my. Which I don't even know about this matrix stuff. I'm not even sure like how informed I am, but I said dancing moved my mind like out of the matrix. Like you just. The best way to describe it is like you really recognize your power
Yep.
and what you're capable of doing with your life, for your life. You're no longer conforming to what a man thinks you should do, your parents think you should
Right.
do. And with that comes an immense amount of power. What you're able to provide for yourself is your own limits. You know, I think there's like it's a mind shift, and it's a definite shift, you know. But that's what makes it hard to go back to a 9 to 5. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
So
why I'm
would
doing
you-
stand up.
Would you consider yourself retired from dancing, or is this like just on a break?
I think from the industry, obviously, like, I'll probably always be in the industry. But dancing, definitely, yeah. Definitely. I mean, I'm 37 years old. Like, I started dancing when I was 19.
Yeah.
And just what it does, like, I wake up and I, like, crack my body down, like, from hip to knee to ankle to foot. Like, it's like, I would definitely compare it to, it's like athleticism. And then if you're climbing the pole, you're doing all that, which I think people try to be like, like, I would love to see anybody. And I caught your little comment at the beginning too about climbing the pole. I think we need to see you try to climb a pole.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
how'd I get pulled into this?
Yo, if you want to see Martin on the pole, hit us in the super chat and give us a $200 donation.
Yeah.
And for an extra 100, she'll teach him how to, like, hang upside down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I'm all over it.
And we can do some heel claps too.
Okay, now we're
Or, like, you know,
Do you know what a heel clap is?
or like when you're laying back and then you shake your leg, like, on your back.
You should try it. Do it right now.
I love to give men like a hard time when it comes to this industry because it's so surface level if you're not familiar with it.
Absolutely.
But all it takes is like a quick conversation to recognize, like, well, if you have like depth, you're gonna be like, oh, I was like way off, you know. And I love to like experience the realization when they're like, this isn't what I thought it was, or you're not how I thought I was, or, you know.
It's never with like any kind of like sex work, because stripping does like fall under that realm.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, it does, you know. And I mean, my experience, you know, in the club, again, it was like maybe like 6 months, maybe a couple more months on and off, like during
COVID. No, you never quit.
And
like,
you never,
it takes
like
a few times.
Ease your way out of it, you know. But I mean, I didn't have anything crazy happen. I was also like, you know, I wasn't on any substances. I wasn't.
And you're blonde.
I was blonde.
Blue eyes.
I was older too. It was funny though, because when it would be like so loud in the club and I'd be talking, people would think I was Australian, and so I just started playing into it.
Did you have like an Australian name?
No.
Oh, okay. Little Roo.
Little Roo.
Like kangaroo.
Are you serious?
Or Joey.
Joey. There you go.
That's cute. That's cute. Did you have any? So what's like? So you danced just here in LA?
I did Vegas once or twice. It was just like too hedonistic for me. Like, it was like, So the reality is I'm very like low key. I'm very private. I like to have my home with my dog, and I'm close to my family, like my few friends. I think dancing exposes you to what's really out there, and some people really are into it, and some people are just like, I would prefer to be like in my own space. Yeah. So for me, I'm definitely one of those. Like, I just like to have my own space. I mean, granted, I danced in my 20s, so like I had the experiences and like all of that, but I feel very blessed in an aspect that it wasn't impressionable to me that I wanted to be a part of it. You know, I think that is like a huge, it's like a liability that you face being in the industry, you know, especially being young and impressionable. You think it's always going to be like this, like, because you can't imagine it not if it's like this so consistently. But
what advice would you give to young people who are interested in becoming dancers or getting in the industry?
I definitely think that there are other industries that you can, and like routes you can take to sustain financial independence. It's much harder to leave than it is to enter the industry, believe it or not. And I definitely, like, the most important thing I would say is to like learn how to manage your money. That is gonna, like, learning how to manage your money is going to be the difference between like succeeding, surviving, and thriving, I would say, because your mental, it affects you when you're like, you know, last minute or pressure, all of that. You want to have that like foundation to make your own decisions.
Yeah, we have ourselves a super chat. Mimi, you want to read that for us? Let's give it up for JP Runs This. Yes.
Wow.
No, read it out loud.
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I am giving money to not see Martin on the pole. Like, never, ever, ever, ever. Also, favorite go-to move when you danced, Crissa?
Thank you, JP.
Well, I definitely was not a pole trick girl. I was like, I'm really enjoying talking to you. can we give the DJ $100 so he skips me and we like finish our convo? Like, let's go get a dance. If I had to go on stage, I would like walk around the pole, you know, but it was never my forte. I think as a dancer, like you learn, just like as a woman, you learn what your attractiveness, where it lies within certain people. And like my forte was never on the stage or like the pole. It was just,
You're more personality based.
definitely, it was just easier for me to relate. I mean, that's also why I didn't like working evenings, because it was like too packed. I preferred like day or mid shift, and I ran it like a woman at a nail salon. Like, I'm like, okay, I got you at 10:30, I got you at 11:30. Like, I would like line myself up like a business.
You know? Itinerary.
Yes, you have a late fee. No. But also, if you are a dancer, you definitely should like apply the late fee, you know, when you have people coming to see you. You know, I think, you know, you're a fantasy. You have to leverage it in the most enjoyable way, whatever makes you give people a good experience. Everyone thinks it's like sex and this and that. To be honest, and I know this may be like, tell me if I'm talking too much, but
No,
this may be something this is something you hear from dancers. Some girls are more willing to go further than other girls.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you kind of have to respect your boundaries, because you cannot, the money, you're going to spend the money, but you can never buy back your boundaries. And I think that's something that, like, when it comes to choosing the clientele that's best for you, you kind of align with what works, and like you say, yeah, that's not for me. That person is not going to leave. They're just going to find somebody that can give them what they want.
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I've never really fed into that, like, oh, she's an extras girl, or she's like this and that. I was just like, well, if you're not, what do you care? That's not your clientele anyway.
Right.
You know?
See, I would always get the guys that wanted to be like verbally abused. And I was down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes
you do that to guys that don't want to be verbally abused.
And sometimes physically abused too. I'm like,
A lot of men will pay for, like, women would never pay for that.
oh, they wouldn't. Well, women, we get abused for free. So men have to pay for it.
Girl, speak for yourself. I wish somebody... I'm past that phase, but yes, like, they're definitely, like, you... Just like in the club, like, men will do what you allow them to get away with.
Oh no,
That's it,
absolutely.
you know,
no,
but
not me. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, in general,
you know,
yeah, of
women,
course.
we have to deal with catcalling, the bullshit, being
This is
harassed.
true, yeah.
You know, men, it's like, well, you have to pay for that,
Yeah, I mean...
and they do.
It's so funny, because it's like, if they sexualize you, it's business. But if you sexualize yourself, it's immoral, you
Right.
know? It's like it's control. It's control, which I understand. But I mean, this is not that environment anymore. This isn't that, like, I don't want to, what is the, I forgot, the temperature of, like, how things are, you know? It's just not that. Do you understand the word?
Yeah,
What is the word? It's driving me nuts.
The
climate?
Climate, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The climate of modern society, is that what, like...
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important as a woman to realize that your power lies in using your looks and your feminism as leverage and not currency, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Otherwise, like, anything, you can't really rely on anything too much, because it'll be your downfall, literally, you know?
But we were talking earlier about, like, you know, people's perception, you know, of the club, you know, and it's not just like a bunch of tits and like a bunch of dudes' faces. Like, men are coming in there with the weirdest kinks you could imagine,
Or even not
it's a place,
kinks.
right? Because it's a place that they feel so comfortable sharing with. Like, okay, this is a safe space, and also. And I heard you on another podcast talking about this, you know, how, like, you know, so you have a group of guys, right? And, you know, you go up to one of them, and then the friend is like, no, they don't want to dance with you. It's the cock block thing, right? You talked about that before. And sometimes when these guys do this, it's because they're gay. Do you know what I'm talking about?
1,000%. And they want the guy.
Yeah, they want the guy. They're getting that guy in a vulnerable position.
Or
in
they're
the club.
broke, and it makes them uncomfortable to spend money or to see someone else spending money,
As
like,
in-
frivolously
as
to
in,
them.
Guy friends.
It's usually like one's either gay or he's pocket watching. That's the only two excuses.
Right. And it's like, no, he doesn't want to dance with you. And he's just, you know, feeding him liquor, hoping that maybe at the end of the night, you know, he can get that dance.
I've
Yeah.
never heard of this
Speak.
before. I didn't know it was like a thing.
Or he
Maybe
doesn't like the girl. Like, or it's a personal weird thing that has something
Yeah.
to do with the girl.
Yeah, or like, I don't like blondes, or I don't like brunettes, or I don't
Yeah,
like
and meanwhile, a
this.
blonde like shit on him like 2 weeks ago, and he's still upset about
Yeah,
it
literally,
because he
or-
couldn't. I mean, is that no? But to each his
understand.
own. We don't judge.
Yeah,
I do have limits, but I don't judge.
yeah.
What's like been like one of the craziest stories you have? I mean, I'm sure you've got plenty.
Craziest.
Wildest.
I mean, I don't really have. I was very much like a no nonsense.
Yeah.
Type of
Same.
vibe. I think the most surprising thing that happened was like the first night I danced in Vegas. There was like people around, but like I get sensory overload like very easily. So like I could be standing in a room full of people and I just won't move because I don't know what to say or do. Like it was like that when I was dancing as well. But I walked up to a couple and they were like an older, not conventionally attractive couple. And I remember I was at Treasures. I just like took a shot of Fireball and I was like, let me just see what these guys want. And I'm like, do you want to dance? And it was, they're like, okay. They ended up spending, I made like 25, 30 that night.
Wow.
30,000?
Yeah, that night. The husband, and I'm talking, they were probably like 250, 300 pounds. Like
So they were fat.
older, like late 50s.
Uh-huh.
And literally, we were in VIP for 3 hours. After
Damn.
5 minutes, I'm dancing for the husband, and the wife starts getting jealous. And I'm like, oh, well, you should kiss him. You already know how to like, you know how to like
finesse it,
leverage.
yeah.
You're like, well, if you're jealous, you should kiss your husband. Like he's getting turned on, And then they're making out. I ordered a fillet. Like I literally was in there for 3 hours, like ordering food, like shaking it a little for the wife. Like it's so easy, but it's like you have to have your vibe. You could make. I think that's a perfect example of like making money. A lot of money in an easy way versus like making money where you're like fighting somebody off.
Right.
The things that are for you will be easy. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to money. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like you work 5 days in a row and you don't make anything, and then you hit your like the fifth day you make $3,000 in 20 minutes. Like that's like law of attraction. You're putting your work out there and it comes back. You just have to be consistent. But like it's all like alignment. You have to, your energy, you have to like, don't take work that doesn't apply to you,
What strip club would you say has the best like food?
Well, Treasures in Vegas was pretty nice. Like,
Yeah.
I generally, there was a club in Orange County. Oh my God, the owner, he was so racist.
Oh.
It's closed now. He was so awful that like,
I mean, I guess the Orange County part kind of gave that.
yeah,
away.
Yeah.
I mean, no, but he just like, he looked like, it was just insane. It was insane. The club was like around for 20 years. And we just had so much fun. But the boss was such a mess that like nobody respected him. So we kind of did whatever we wanted, because he was an asshole.
You can cuss, by the way.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, but he was like the worst. But I had my way at that club because we just did it. He set the tone for the lack of respect by acting like that. So in return, like that was the tone. We just all ran our business. Like we paid rent to the club, like on a monthly basis. Like there were girls selling blow. Like the building's
shit. actually
actually been demolished, but like it was wild. It was like
Oh yeah, tell us more.
those were my crazy times. Okay, actually, I met the guy. Okay, so I started TDR in 2017. Okay. My heart's beating. Okay, so basically, I was there working, and I met a guy. We dated for like 7 months. Okay, and this guy, after 7 months, I met him at the club. He was married and he like lied about having kids, everything, like sick. And they would still let him in the club and like, like just like such a crazy lack of like respect, But yeah, there was like, it was wild. I can't even think of girls fighting, like it was.
Oh, those fights in the locker room, those could be really. I would be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
To be honest, it was like all the girls looked like you.
Yeah, that makes sense. Mimi's always fighting
Yeah, they
somebody.
were all blonde hair, blue eyes, like their own little like.
White devils.
What? Hey.
Speaking of devils, Vibey Woodchuck for $5 says, yo, shout out Match My Freak. Hope everyone's doing well. Hey, thank you so much, Vibey. We hope you're doing well also, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So interesting. But yeah, I was getting lost in the, that was crazy.
And then you were just like, I'm done with the OC. It's racist.
No, actually,
I gotta go.
so he like left. So anyways, we were together. He tells me what's going on, and he's like, I left my wife, and I'm moving in with you.
Oh.
He literally like, it was crazy.
And you're still together to this day?
No, not at all. Are you insane? Like, I thought I was gonna have to get a restraining order on him. No, but I mean, I think as a dancer, you just get so disconnected from anything, and like you're in survival mode whether you realize it or not, you know. And I think like with him, I was so easy to manipulate as a girl being in survival mode, dancing, being around men, that a man being generous without immediately receiving anything in return, I found like safe.
Right.
Yeah. And then but that's what helped me start TDR. So at the end of the day, like, that was what did it. I basically like threatened him and was like, well, I'm starting a company and this is what we're doing and you're paying for it. So
Oh, okay. Now it's
Hell
okay.
yeah.
Now I get what you mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was the benefactor. So is he blocked now, or are you guys?
Oh, it's
friends
been
again?
it's been like 7 years, 8 years.
Yeah.
This was like this was then.
Yeah.
But I just felt like, I don't know, I think it's different for women. Like, you fall in love, and maternally, like, naturally, we put like our future and what our potential family could be like before anything, you know, what we see ourselves as a mother, that instinctually comes before working for a woman, generally, you know. And I think that was like what allowed me to kind of get not preyed upon, but, you know, that like safety aspect. But yeah, I mean, it was an awful relationship, but it changed the course of my life.
Yeah.
So I know he would not have been allowed in any other club.
And it's kept other people safe as a result.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's always humbling to get like any notice of like somebody being helped from your work. I think is like, it's priceless, you know?
Yeah. Well, what's next for the app?
So like I said earlier with the technology,
You're getting into the freelancing and the trucking industry. I read the website's like blue collar. You're focusing kind of like on blue collar jobs.
Yeah. So our technology is for the working class. We have an emphasis on the blue collar industry, which is like trucking, manual labor, all of that. All of those industries that are contingent on your personal network. Our objective is to provide that universal platform per industry that allows the independent contractors to be able to know their options for work and not be at the mercy of their dispatchers who are giving them the work. So when that's the case, you're not able to use your voice to hold people accountable. These these contractors can go 5 months without paying you because where else are you gonna go? You know, we get rid of that, but we also help ensure work. So what happened to start in the strip club industry, Lord willing, is going to save freelancers, because a lot of freelance work is the same worldwide. Construction, hair salons, they're all ran the same. So the technology that we created for the app is what I would like to apply to each industry.
Nice. Well, we do a segment here called Match My Freak, where we find different stories from Reddit that we peruse, and we see if we can like what story of ours from our personal life can match that one. So the one that I have today is this. Again, it's from Reddit. The question was, strippers of Reddit, what's your weirdest story while you were working? This person said, I was in the club that had 3 poles along the front of the stage. A guy comes in and sits right near one of the poles. After he had a few drinks, a girl started her set. She would visit all 3 poles and swing herself around slightly bent at the waist, leaving her rear swinging just within reach of the guy's hand. So he reached up and touched it. Touching wasn't allowed on the stage shows. She reacted a bit startled and told him not to do that. She continues to the other poles and back, and he does it again. She tells him that if he does it again, she will knock his ass out. She comes back around again. Of course, he touches her again, but before he could start laughing about it, she jumps off the stage and punches him into oblivion, out cold. The bouncer just walks up, asks her if she's okay. She shakes her hand a couple times and says, "Yep, that felt great." So the bouncer reaches down and grabs the guy one-handed by his belt, carries him out of the front door, and tosses him face first into the gravel parking lot. Said, yes, the bouncer was huge, a fairly friendly guy too, as long as he behaved.
Why didn't the bouncer do that the first time?
I don't, it's just from
That,
Reddit,
you know,
I don't
but like, that's like, you know what I'm saying though? Like, that to me is like, hearing the story is like, it's crazy as the bouncer didn't do something the first time. If anything, that's a liability for the club. She attacks him and then he comes, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what the bouncers are there for.
Yeah.
I guess
You know?
I have my story that's similar with that is I did have to take a situation into my own hands one time. A younger girl was getting like harassed in VIP, and I guess like a guy like was trying to get her to do extras, and she was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And so she came out and she was all like crying and upset. She was still in the club. It was like, this short Armenian guy who was like, older, who was just very kind of like machismo acting, but you're like literally 4'11", like you're not,
Yeah.
right? And I ended up like punching him because the bouncer didn't do anything. I would say
Yeah,
that's
no,
like
it's a thing. It's a on our app, we have like rate and review the staff, the bouncers, the safetiness of the club, the cleanliness of the club, because all of that, like, that goes into your safety. Like, like any other industry, if somebody comes and like reaches up for your asshole, like that's, you're either going to get like kicked out or something. Like for us, for women in this industry, you're forced to fend for yourself. And that's what allows our technology to be so precious, because we give these women a voice in situations where they otherwise would be like internalizing it alone. It allows us to hold that club accountable for that. So,
what's your story?
what do you mean?
You got something similar to that?
No, actually.
No?
I'm trying to I was just always like, I think I would lose out on more money being a bitch than like I would put myself in situations, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I've just always been like, it'll make its way back, you know? I think one time a guy left for like without paying, because I went on stage. I had to go on stage. It was like 2 dances, and I was like, that's what I get for not asking for the money first, you know? But like, other than that, no. But I'm telling you, like, I would deal with like older men that I probably could have fucked up if I like needed to, like they were kind of scared. So
Older men were scared?
yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
know your clientele, like everyone has a type,
What was your
essentially.
type?
Like older men that just like to feel like they were the man like they did when they were younger. Or men, surprisingly, that just wanted to like have conversation. I know this sounds so cliche, but they just wanted to have good conversation and feel and like bitch about home and feel understood, and like they would sit there and like have drinks with you and like pay you. But it was the area that I was in. It was like in Orange County, right by Newport. Like it was, It depends. I used to work in the hood, like in Bassett, at Satin, and then my first club was Sin. So like, but I never saw. There was times where I was like, are we gonna get shot up? But other than that, like, I never personally had that.
Was it metal detectors?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean,
I guess you can still sneak it in.
it's a hood club.
Yeah.
Like, like if you've been, it's, even being in the area is like, it's all
You're
relative.
Latina?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm half Puerto Rican, half Mexican.
Oh shit, okay, good combo.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. You don't see that a lot in LA, apparently,
No,
but
that's more of a New York thing, I'd say.
Puerto Rican is
Miami.
New York thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Mexican is an LA thing.
Yeah.
So definitely, yeah.
How did your parents meet?
Oh my God, my dad is so awful.
Oh.
My dad, him and my mom have been divorced for years. Like my dad, they were divorced before I was 1. But I remember one time I asked my dad, I'm like, how'd you meet mom? He's like, are you kidding? When I met your mom, mind you, my mom is like very successful. She was a shareholder in a company before it went public. Like she's done her thing, And he's like, when I met your mom, she was making tortillas in the factory, like lying. He said he met her at the Taco Bell factory making tortillas. I'm like, there's not even, just
Taco Bell
lying. There's
factory?
no such thing as a Taco Bell factory that does that. Like he made it up. But he's just like, that's what he was like sticking with. They've been divorced for years, but my mom said they met through friends, and like, He said she was a gold digger, and she said he was a hater.
Sounds like he was definitely a hater.
No, definitely he was a hater.
Yeah.
Definitely. You know, you grow up and you're able to look at your parents with like two eyes.
Oh, you certainly can do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you noticed a lot of dancers have interesting relationships with their mothers? Is that something you've seen or no?
I mean, I certainly have no relationship with my mom, so yeah, I guess she's kind of interesting.
That's interesting, right? Yeah.
I'm sure when she watches this podcast, which she will, she's going to be like, oh.
Oh, I had my mom on mine.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that would never happen with me.
You think.
No, we actually have her right outside. Come on in, Mimi's mom. Yeah.
No, I had mine, and everybody else in the family was mad. So that's
They
so
were mad
funny.
that you had
Imagine.
your mom on?
Yeah.
Because she was honest, or what was the...
No, my mom is the savior and the victim in every story.
As it goes. But I mean, I feel like a lot of people in different professions have interesting relationships with their families. But yeah, maybe more so.
I think it's
with
easier.
dancing.
I
like
think
my
for
mom.
our specific
Your mom's
demographic.
great.
Oh, sorry. I'm like,
Oh, no.
No, you're good. No, I was
yeah.
just commenting that I like my mom. She's very supportive.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Hence why you're not in the strip club. No, I'm just kidding.
While you're not on the pole with a real one.
I know.
Why, but you
I
will
love
be
the
on the
ass
pole
for it.
soon, right?
Yeah.
We need that $200.
$200 and all, yeah. Well, he got paid for me to never strip, so. Yes,
What?
yes.
There you go.
So go on.
Oh, no, I just think the sex work industry is not something like you grow up being like, this is what I want to do.
No.
Even as commercialized as it's become now, it's not something you want to do. And so I'm always like empathetic towards the women that are in the industry. I think it's so easy to generalize and be like, da-da-da-da. But at the end of the day, like, it's a survival industry. I started dancing because I was living in between my car, my best friend's mobile home, and my car. Like, it was just like
what kind of car
my
was
grandma
it?
occasionally. It was a Honda Civic.
What year?
Coupe hatchback, it was like newer body at the time, but it was just,
Yeah, it's right.
it was survival.
Really
Like,
cramped,
you know, when I started dancing, I felt like if I didn't, I wasn't going to be able to eat the next day, you know? So I will always represent and be forthcoming when it comes to like that industry and the way it's like spoken about in front of me. You know, I'll always give it the respect that it's given me. You know,
Do you feel like it's become like more normalized with artists, you know, like Cardi B, for example, just being very open, like I was a stripper,
Yeah.
now look at me. I mean, do you feel that maybe perception about stripping has changed within society?
I think the people that like are like, oh no, Cardi B did it. Those are the same people that are like, I think it's so cool you were a stripper
Right.
to your face, and then behind your back are like, oh my God, she's a stripper. You know, I think you tell somebody you're a stripper, specifically a woman, and you're going to see where her respect for other women stands right away.
For sure.
What's it?
sure.
What's it like dating as a stripper?
Well, when I was dancing, I didn't really date as it was. I had someone that I like spoke to on and off. But he was like in the weed game, and it was, you know, we were friends
Yeah.
before anything. But I mean, honestly, I date less now just because I have this startup that I'm running that's 24/7, and I'm tired by the end of the day.
Yeah. No
I
time
feel
to
like
go
I
to the
had.
movies.
I'm sorry.
So no time to go to the movies.
Oh no, I do go to iPick once a week. I go alone, but I love iPick.
I got an AMC A-list pass. So I'm always.
Oh, nice.
What was the last thing you saw?
What did we see?
Oh, we saw Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
Freaky or Friday?
And it's so interesting. All my friends are married. Like my friends that I have, they're married. They're in good relationships with really good men.
Yeah.
My brothers are good men. I have good men in my life that I respect, you know, but I'm always like their third wheel. I love it.
We have
Yeah.
a married friend here today off camera.
Yeah.
So
She's crazier than me, you know.
Really? No, she's like a good. I was gonna say it's like the goodest person ever.
the goodest person ever.
Yeah.
Who taught you English?
Alabama.
The most good. I'm from Alabama. I don't talk like that.
Yeah, but you put on a voice though. You
What
put on a very
voice?
reporter voice.
Do I really?
Yeah.
No, I don't. This is how I sound. Oh, don't stop. Hey, I've also done that before. I was a TV producer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel like stripping kind of prepares you for anything.
You're just like, we grow up and we're like, I want to have a 9 to 5. I want to work in corporate.
Ew.
I want to do all this, whether you want to work in corporate or not. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I want to live to do this, so this is my title. Mm-hmm. And when you start dancing, you don't care about that. That's why like people are like, oh, what do you do for work? And dancers get so annoyed and roll their eyes, not because they're embarrassed at what they do, but because they know it's like this much of who you are as a person. And that like, when you live in that aspect, you're just so unfazed by like other things. That's why you see a lot of men are like, why would you want to be with her? She's a stripper, or she's this, or she's that. Well, she's not conforming in any aspect where like a lot of other people are.
Yeah. Well, I dated a stripper briefly. Gosh, I don't even know when it was back when I lived in Chicago, and I remember I'd come back to like, oh, I'm gonna like go stop in the club and see her, and but I forgot what her stripper name was. I just knew her real name, and but she wasn't working that day. I think she had worked like the day shift, and I came in at night or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, she's in the back, and this girl, because it was like a darker club, this girl came back and just had like her hair in her face and put on an accent, like because she was from Turkey. And she was like, "Here I am." I'm like, "That's not what the fuck? No, you're not."
They thought you were.
Like,
they thought you were a customer. They were gonna try to steal you from her. That is so trifling.
Yeah.
I hope that girl was tipping that guy insane. That is so trifling.
Yeah.
Did you tell her?
Yeah, I think I was like, "Hey, yeah, oh yeah," and I left a Yelp review, regular Yelp review. Because it was before Dancer's Resource, but I was like, I'm not mad, but this is a very funny story, and like put it in there. So
that's insane.
Yeah, she put her hair. She's like, "Hey, I heard that you were looking for me."
That's the type of stuff that like will cause a fight in the dressing room. That's insane. Like that's stealing. I'm like, that's stealing.
Did anybody ever try to impersonate you?
Not in the club. There have been actually surprisingly some companies that have tried to like enter the realm and be like use like CRISSA, the name CRISSA or something like that. And I'm like, excuse me, like what is going on? This is not the same CRISSA. But I think there's like my name is associated with it in that, so it's like easy to like, you know, anything you're familiar with. And then I don't generally put myself out there too much. So like that was something that I thought was so weird. Like they were. Come on. But no, nothing like that. And not in the club. You know what, though? It's so funny because I think the craziest thing I ever did in the club was like I got fired, but only for 2 days. Because there used to be a customer, and he liked when I would like slap the shit out of him, his face.
See, that's what I'm about.
And they're like, I used to use Gigi. They're like, Gigi, you need to stop hitting him on the floor. Because like the strip club, like where the bar is, where people are sitting, where the stage is, that's called the floor. Okay, like for those that don't know, you have a dance area, but the floor is like where anyone can see. And he literally he was the lead attorney for ABC, and he was a straight masochist. Oh. And he would have me put a belt on his neck and like walk him on the club, and he would be like on all fours, and he would be like, "Mommy."
Just being in front of people?
Yeah. In front of all the customers on like a Friday, like the day before Thanksgiving, which you know is like the busiest time of the year for the club. And he'd be like, "Mommy, can you ask the bartender if I could have milk?" And I'd be like, "No."
Did he like want to dress up as like a baby too and like wear diapers?
No, but he would be like, "I'm going to give you my paycheck and don't let me give any to my kids or any to my ex-wife." Like, of course he's not going to do it. But he just like got off. And then like, you know, I started drinking a little whiskey. I'd get creative with like the torture. Yeah. Huh?
Did they have milk?
He would bring his own milk for them to like. No,
how do you let that? How did that get in the club?
This guy would give me $10,000. So he would give out 10 to 5,000 to like all the girls, and so the girls would be like chasing him and like fighting over him while he's like on all fours, like getting choked.
And here I am, broke as shit, fucking doing fucking.
He's like,
comedy.
"How come I still get treated like that with the disrespect?"
This motherfucker just giving away more money than. God damn.
So you got you didn't get banned, or you had to have to change your shifts or what? Because like you
No,
said,
I said give him money, like give him 500. They told me 2 days, and I was like, okay, that's fine. So then I took the guy to another club, and they were like, okay, just come back here.
yeah, because it's hard to get fired from a strip club.
Well, you get your 2-day, 1 day,
Yeah.
you know, and then like all I would do is just go on a different shift.
That
Like,
kind of reminds me of comedy, you know, about how people will get banned from like the comedy clubs, but then the ban doesn't last long. It's kind of like the same thing
Yeah.
with stripping.
Yeah.
like if you really like, you
There's
have
no
to
parallels.
really fuck up to get fired. Like you
Yeah.
have to steal, even for fighting, you're not going to get fired. Unless you're like a menace out here like biting people or something. But
That would be
like,
kind of cool. There's like stripper MMA.
there is in the dressing room.
No, but I mean, if we like, I think we're leaving money on the table right now by not, you know, making that into like a thing. Like it's like you strip, and then we have like a little ring, and they fight, and then you know people will throw money while the fight happens, and like play music and whatnot, and then yeah,
So you're saying like the fights that are in the dressing room, you take them.
we're just
to the
publicizing them,
stage
getting some money.
and put a
Yeah.
ring around it. All right, you guys are upset at each other. All right, well let's take
Take
it
it to the
outside.
ring.
Let's make some money.
Yeah, Dames and Games used to do that in
No,
the
why? They
valley.
closed.
They would let the girls like box and stuff, but like you missed out.
It would probably
Yeah.
be like play boxing, like
No, the girls were boxing.
like
No,
boxing.
Well,
Yeah.
but they're
girls.
wearing like all the.
Oh,
I mean, to be honest, I never worked there, but I you see things owning the Dancers Resource that like
Right.
you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, they do a lot of the Midwest clubs bring in like the specialty. Like they'll bring a lot of like what is the correct term? Is it small?
Little person.
Little person? Okay. They'll bring like those girls. Those girls, you know, those girls are killing it.
Oh yeah.
But then it's like, I always look like even with the girls, like a lot of the girls that you'll see, like I'm a grown woman. I had a BBL. I like to look a certain way that makes me feel and feminine and sexy. But a lot of these girls that make money look like they're 12 in the clubs.
Oh my God! Yes,
killing it. They're killing it.
and it's really kind of sick when you
It's
see
disturbing,
that.
yeah. They
You're
look
like,
like little
oh,
girls."
this is a guy that's in his like 40s. He doesn't want to dance with me. Oh, but the girl that's barely legal with no tits, no ass. They're like, come on back. That was one thing that was very.
They have the most loyal customers, like the most, you know what I'm talking about?
I
Like
do.
those, you'll learn. I mean, it's its own world, you know?
When you go to the club, what kind of strippers are you booking?
Big booty.
Oh, white girls.
That is not true at all.
That's what
Fuck
he
you,
does in
Mark.
real life.
No, I don't really go to strip clubs like that. Like I went to a couple over the weekend, but we didn't. Well, no, that's because the company I was with, they wanted to go, and I was like, you know, I'm like always down to hang, especially if it's. But like even then, I think we left pretty early. Like it was mostly Mexican strippers at the first spot, and then like an Asian strip. Like one girl that club kind of sucked, but it was like this Asian girl like went up there like 4 different times. But I don't really do like private dances. I think the last time I got a private dance, it was a black girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was from Tennessee, so that's really all I know.
Yeah, you wanted to be reminded of home a little bit with the
Yeah, yeah.
accent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Martin doesn't do strip clubs. He just does sex parties.
Mimi's jealous because she can't come.
Yeah, I am. I don't want. Can you imagine if we were like the same sex party, like ran into each other? That would be so weird.
You
What
guys
would be
wouldn't
weird?
have sex?
No.
Wait, what
kidding.
was your question?
No, Chris wants us to sleep together.
He keeps trying. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird.
He probably wants to record it for your podcast.
We're not doing some Adam 22 Lena the Plug type shit on here. I remember, speaking of just like the type of men that go to strip clubs and da-da-da-da, one of my old barbacks who I love dearly and I will not name, he loved to go to the Body Shop right up here on Sunset. And he'd be like, oh yeah, I went to the Body Shop last night. He's like, the strippers are so cool. They're like, they don't make me like give them any money. They just want to hang. I was like, none of them just want to hang out with you. You need to give them money.
Yeah.
So then every time he would like go, he'd like check in, would be like, he goes, I bought a few dances. I'm like, good, as you should.
Yeah.
As you fucking should.
Because
Nobody
they're
just-
paying to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's no hourly wage. Right.
We
Yeah,
should
no,
fix
you're
that.
figuring it out.
Yeah.
Right. Well.
Yeah, we gotta change the game, man. Like, how do you think we can advance the stripping industry? Like health insurance, or like what's something that clubs need going into the future?
The dancers resource.
Yeah, there
They
you
all
go.
need to be
Good
on
plug.
Just kidding. No, actually, we're building out the other side of the app, which is going to allow the clubs to respond and correspond to the reviews that they're receiving, and it'll also allow them to like ask girls to audition and like make that whole process a little more seamless. I mean, I think you could say structure, but like I think it's the acknowledgement that dancers are their own working society as well. I think that's very important. I think that like hello, without the strippers, like what are you gonna call it? Like Hooters or like Buffalo Wild Wings?
What's the Twin Peaks? Is that the one?
Twin Peaks.
Is that the one that's like forest themed or whatever?
Is that in San Francisco?
No, it's like is that what it's called, Mark? Yeah, Twin Peaks. It's
Yeah,
like
I
I
mean-
think it's all around, but yeah. Hooters has good wings. I feel like they catch a bad.
Hooters is kind of done with though. Like
In some places, there's one still in Trussville.
I mean, it's all the same
Alabama.
thing. At the end of the day, like whether you're working at Hooters, there's a new one like Ojos Locos, I think. All of that is like if you're leveraging your femininity, like you're a sex worker. Like, I
Yeah.
think it's all the same, you know?
You absolutely
I'm
are.
actually opening up all dude strip club called Dongs.
Ew.
where we,
And you know who's gonna go? Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Oh my God! You know what? Okay, so I haven't
Ding dongs
released.
and Twinkies.
I haven't released this version of the podcast. But ours is like it gives a little bit more like remember like back in the 90s and 80s, like they would do like you're like filming in Taxi Cab Confessions.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like the vibe. But anyway, so I had a guy, a male dancer from New York. And he said that like there would be like straight men that would go dance, and they're like out here doing shit for free. Like they found a loophole into like, and there's a club in New York where it's like half male dancers and then half female dancers, and like the dancers are like going over to the girls' side, like trying to like, you know.
That's my old
I'm a bisexual strip club.
my
Literally.
old trainer in North Carolina was a dancer. And it's interesting, and I don't know if Martin, you know about this, but like in the South, there's like this whole network of it's kind of underground, kind of not, but like a bunch of black women will rent out like an event venue, and they'll partner with like this big male review thing, and it's all a bunch of big hot black guys, and they do like shows all the time. Like every weekend there's a big male review show, and it's all a bunch of like church ladies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's
Hello?
great, and it's so fun.
Yeah.
There's an episode of Martin like that.
But my my old trainer, I used to get free sessions with him in exchange for I handled his social media. And the photos I would get from women on there were crazy. He didn't want to look at them.
What was the wildest one?
I mean, basically like a woman's like wet pussy just busted wide open.
Oh, yeah, dog.
Like, yeah, it was really kind of bad. But I was married at the time, and I was handling, Ricky, and I can say it because we're good friends, and he would love it if I, shout out to Ricky. I was, married at the time, and my ex-husband, he knew that, like, I had this hot, trainer who was a stripper. And one day, so Ricky would send photos to me to post online for him. And it'd be like him in a purple Speedo or him in a red Speedo. And one time my ex-husband goes, "Hey, let me see your phone. I want to see what Ricky sends you." Because he thought that there was something going on between us.
Of course, yeah.
And then he sees it's just so benign that the text message, like, again, like, what color is better for the post? And I remember my ex-husband got so mad there wasn't anything in there that, like, could incriminate either one of us. And he threw the phone across the room.
Okay, that's some anger issue stuff,
Right?
There. Yeah, some
That's
deeper
so bad. But I had a lot of fun memories. And I would go with him to, like, the male reviews and stuff, too. And I'd bring my friends. And it was just silly fun times. But yeah, there definitely were not men there for the guys. It was all women.
I think it's way different than like a woman's like dancing. I think for men it's like because it's not as cultivated yet. It's a more specialized crowd. So like you said, like you're
Absolutely.
having it that one night. So then all those women are gonna know that one night to go there. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Versus like one establishment that's consistently having the same type of like clientele.
Right.
Yeah.
And they would, like, travel all around. And
Oh yeah, actually,
successful.
Magic City went to Japan like a few
yeah.
days ago, and they Of course, there was like fight between like some rappers, but the girls seemed like they made money.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, sex sells. This industry has been around since the beginning. It's clearly not going anywhere. Like, even with everything we're under now, it's not going anywhere because those are the consumers as well, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's an industry that it's so easy to like downplay it and be condescending towards it, but you cannot deny, like, last year alone, 7.4 billion in the US alone. Strip clubs. That's it. Only in the US.
That's how many strip clubs there are?
That's how much the strip club industry made last year.
Oh, okay. I was
And
I was
then-
like, there's no fucking way. That's more
Oh no, yeah,
people.
imagine.
like McDonald's.
That's
yeah.
like during COVID.
Yeah.
Like they had all the little like pop-up strip clubs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're the only app in the whole world for like this industry. So I mean, I think that goes to show like how underserved it is.
So if you
you know.
if you could reach back to that 19-year-old Crissa and, you know, she's sleeping in her car, she's just getting in industry, and you were able to talk to her and tell her where you are now and tell her about your life and your expectations for the future, what would you say to her?
Just stay focused. And like, I think I did a lot of trial and error. Like, you gotta remember, I didn't even graduate high school. Like, I got sent to Mexico when I was 17. So a lot of the stuff and I was a stripper. Like, I did not plan on like building a tech company or anything like this. But I think I would just tell myself to give yourself more grace and more love. And I think if I would have treated myself with more love, I would have made better decisions. It's so hard not to get stuck in that survival mentality, being in that industry, because generally you're going to join it alone, you know, and you are in survival. So I think a lot of the stuff I wish I would have known, I really try to preach on TDR, which is like create a support system outside of the industry, save your money, don't sell your boundaries for your rent, you know, things like that. They just they stay with you, you know? Yeah. What about you? What was like the hardest lesson you learned dancing?
I think I'd already endured so much before I started dancing that dancing was more of a release for me.
How old were you when you started, if you don't mind me asking?
Like 32.
What advantage do you think you had starting?
Oh, maturity.
1,000.
And then I'd been in like the professional, you know, realm also. And it was kind of fun that too I was dancing because it's like I was leading like a double life. Like I was kind of like Hannah Montana. No one knew. I was
Hannah Montana stripping.
I was so disenfranchised with dating at the time, you know, being like here new in LA on the apps. Men just being pigs, not getting anything out of it. And I'm just like, well, if I've got great tits, I mean, which I do, I'm going to take my shirt off and, you know, make a few $1,000s on a Saturday night instead of, you know, going out with a guy that's going to waste my time and not respect me.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be, you know what it's like to be a stripper and not get paid, go on a dating app in LA.
Yeah, do it. Go on Tinder. Go on and even go on Hinge. Go on any of them.
What are these dates y'all are? I feel like I've paid for a lot of shit on dates. What's going on?
It doesn't matter. If they
No. I mean,
it's what they expect.
It's like, okay, so it's like this. You have a woman that's going to go out with a man. Like, let's say he's successful. He's going to take you, what do we want to say? The Penny? From the peninsula. He's gonna pick you up in a Rolls Royce. He's gonna spend $1,000 on dinner and then drop you off at home. Meanwhile, your bills are you still have your own shit that you're dealing with, and like he's maybe gonna call you tomorrow, and you're gonna be like, oh, maybe we're gonna have another date. Why? Because he has money.
Yeah.
Like realistically, why? And then a lot of these women are only sleeping with men because they have money.
And they're not getting any money.
They're not getting anything for it. Maybe a text the next day. And it makes men so uncomfortable to hear that because they think they should be able to get it for free or to be able to do that. But if like these are the same men buying porn, paying for all this extra shit, they're willing to pay for it. But if you're receiving for it, it's an issue. To me, that's like absurd. It's absurd. It's like.
Whoa.
Or I hate it when men say that I don't buy porn. I don't buy porn. Yes, you do.
No, you date low energy, not low value, because I don't think even men are like low value, whatever. I don't believe that like that exists. Everybody has like value.
Yeah, Hitler
but
had pretty
you
low
would
value.
want to date. I mean, we could get into the. No,
Hitler's
I just
not
like
cool. That's how we say that here on MMF.
what.
We don't fuck with Hitler.
We
on
hate
MMF.
Hitler.
Yeah.
I may have blonde hair and blue eyes, but I do not fuck with Hitler.
Yeah,
okay?
I don't fuck with anybody that like like does genocide in any aspect. So anything like that, I'm good.
Yeah, man. Y'all cut out the genocide, y'all.
No, yeah, can we stop that, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's today.
Yeah,
marks
like
the
you don't
spot.
switch from one to the other and be like, it's just nah. But no, I mean, dating is definitely like different. Like it's one thing as a dancer. I think dancing made me smarter when it came to dating because men probably think you're not as high value, but you're worth more because you're like, wait a second, I got paid $40 for having a dumbass conversation with this guy, and this guy wants me to go to dinner with him and give him my time and energy for free, and even go half. Lord forbid.
Yeah, ew. Disgusting.
Well, okay. I'm just based off of this conversation alone, and I know we have to wrap up soon, but and I guess now I'm curious about just the energies and values and such. So I was in San Jose this past weekend doing shows at a club, a comedy club, not a strip club. Sorry.
Don't worry, I did not think you were doing shows at a strip club.
There are comedy shows at strip clubs sometimes.
You're good, boo. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. That came off rude.
No.
I'm fucking with you. You're good. But met a girl after one of the shows and was like, oh, do you want to come hang out with us? And she was like, yeah, like, do you have weed? I was like, yeah, we can get weed. So we smoked out. We went to this place in San Jose called Pink Poodle. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Yeah. So we went there with yeah. It was fine. Then we went to a karaoke bar across the street, smoked and like hung out some more. Go back to the hotel and hung out more. And then like kept in contact throughout the weekend. Then she came back to the show Sunday, brought a friend, and I took her and her friend out for to this like Chinese spot after the show. And then they had parked in San Francisco. And we were in San Jose, so I got them a lift back to San Francisco. It was like $100 lift, and we're still chatting. So would you consider that? Is that in the realm of what you guys are saying?
Definitely. I think a generous man and a rich man are two different things. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would implore, definitely give a generous man more time a day than a rich man.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you could get both, though, hey.
Yeah. What are you dancing for? You're married.
To both. He's both. And all.
Krista, where can everybody find you and find the Dancer's Resource?
So we're on TikTok, YouTube. We're on like all the platforms. Just search the Dancer's Resource.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you can find me mainly on Instagram at Mimilandru for shows and just fun stuff.
Yo, and I'm at Martin and Morrow on all social platforms. I'm going to be in San Diego this Friday at the Laugh Factory at 8 p.m. and the National Lampoon's Yellow Door at 9:30. So if you're in the San Diego area, come check me out. Posting all my shows on social media. But more importantly, follow Match My Freak. We're available here on Instagram. We're available on OnlyFans. So come watch, like, share, subscribe, do all those fine things. You have friends who are strippers or friends who like strippers or friends who probably need to learn more about strippers. Make sure they follow Dance Resource, and also follow us and share this video with them. This has been another episode of Match My Freak. You guys keep staying freaky out there.
Stay freaky, guys.